Hello, this is PG, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm reviewing Baldur's Gate 3 Deluxe Edition for the Xbox Series X. This physical edition is also available for the PS5 and PC. Baldur's Gate 3 is a role-playing game developed and published by Larian Studios. The game is based on the tabletop fantasy role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. The story takes place in the Forgotten Realms and sees you and your allies confronted by a mysterious and malevolent threat. This review will be broken down into two main parts. Firstly, I'll show you what you get in the Deluxe Edition, then I'll get into the game itself. If you'd like to get straight to the gameplay, I'll put a timestamp in the description, but for everyone else, let's have a look at what you actually get in the box. Okay, first things first, the game comes in a lovely decorative box with a spine that resembles an old book. It's also worth noting the box has similarities in the art style to Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, so if you've got them all physical editions, they will look very nice in a collection. In terms of the game itself, you get a standard Xbox Series X box with 4 discs. Now these discs include 137 gigabytes of game data, and from what Larian say, it covers the base game and patch 1 through 5. Patches 5 through 8 are not included on the disc, so at the point of writing this review, you will need to download an additional 61 gig to play the game. The box also includes an Xbox Store code for your digital extras, but more on that later. What else? Well, you get a physical copy of the original game soundtrack composed by Bobby Slavov. It features 3 CDs, and I have to say, it's very well presented in a beautifully crafted box with some gorgeous concept art. You also get a double-sided Wiberlin Bukran map, I hope I've pronounced that correctly. Now you can use this to reference your own adventure. Now it's printed on high quality paper and it can prove useful when you need a break from the game and you just want to take stock about your adventure. What else? Well, the next item is a poster with a large image of one of the adversaries featured in the game. Now, I can't say it's a great poster though. I think a copy of the game cover art in poster form or some concept art like on the CD would have been a lot more impressive, but there you go. You get 32 stickers which are set on a variety of different themed sheets. Incidentally, these stickers are also available in the built-in photo mode if you want to use them there. Finally, you get 2 patches, a flaming fist and the Mark of the Absolute, with both patches being 10 centimeters in size. And that is all the physical contents of the Deluxe Edition box. Overall, I'd say it's well presented. I particularly like the CD box, and it's really convenient that most of the game is actually installable off the 4 discs. Maybe the map could have been bigger, and maybe the poster image is a little bit of a disappointment, but overall I'd say it's a nice collection of items. Finally, the digital code that I mentioned earlier, this unlocks various things in the game itself. This is what you get. You get an item pack inspired by Divinity, a Bard song pack, an exclusive dice skin, paintings from Rivellon that are hidden in the game world to collect, an adventurous pouch with some useful supplies to start your game, a copy of the digital soundtrack with MP3 and WAV versions available to download from the Larian website. You also get digital character sheets which are useful for anyone wanting to analyse character data. And finally, you get one of the best parts of the deluxe set, a gorgeous digital art book with page upon page of background, lore, character details and some absolutely beautiful artwork. Personally, I would have preferred this art book to have been in physical form in the edition with the box. Alas, that was not to be. But anyway, that covers everything that you get in the physical deluxe edition. Now, on to the gameplay. So Baldur's Gate 3 is a role-playing game, and as you'd expect, you start out by creating a unique character for your adventure. There are several classes to choose from, each with subclass abilities and many other facets to finely tune. In terms of a visual character creation system, it may not have fully face sculpting options like, say, Dragon's Dogma 2, but there are more than enough elements here to create a unique soul to venture into the Forgotten Realms. From different races, skin tones, hairstyles, even face markings, you can pretty much create anything you like within reason. The game also features full nudity. So if you want to roleplay as a streaker, you can. But I don't think the goblins will appreciate it. You've been warned. You've been warned. Anyway, after a short prologue, you're pretty much free to explore the game world to your heart's content. Whether you're on your own or teaming up with a companion, it's a relatively small game world to explore. But it's a world with a colossal amount of hidden depth to uncover. For me, the most impressive part of the game were the characters that inhabit this game world. The amount of NPCs who felt fleshed out and believable was really truly remarkable, and it made every person that you interact with feel like a living, breathing addition to the narrative. From your ensemble group of adventurers as they fight by your side to become your favourite, main story NPCs who've got really complex and detailed conversational paths, or just random characters in the game world who only have 1 or 2 lines of dialogue. Even these just felt realistic, in-depth, and they felt just so rich.
Famous blade of frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, blade. Name strangers gave me. My friends call me Will.
Now, speaking of locations, the game world on the face of it isn't that big. Much like other RPGs though, it's a narrative driven experience, and because of that and because of all the hidden depth, it feels absolutely huge. You can spend hours in small towns or little locations as you explore, have conversations, try to work out fiendish puzzles. When your group has had enough, you can rest for the end of the day at your camp. Here, you can have little conversations with your allies about what's going on in the story, you can manage your inventory, and you can even explore some romantic possibilities if you wish.
Not just yet. Let's choose our moment. Some quiet night, when the others are asleep and there's no distractions. I'll come for you.
Now, if one of the main characters dies, you can just recruit generic characters to replace them. Now, I'm not saying you should kill main characters, but it's there, and you know how it is. It's nice to have the option, isn't it? In terms of the overarching story, I can't say that was anything particularly fresh or new. It's video game storytelling by the numbers, but the thing that really elevated it, for me anyway, was how good the character writing was. As I said earlier, the characters you meet on the journey, they're not only believable, but they also feel like they've got so much hidden depth to them, even more so than what they actually say and do. It's this that makes even the most simple exchange carry real weight, and it's probably, I would say, one of the most convincing games for storytelling and believable characters in a role-playing setting, probably since the Mass Effect trilogy. And much like other great role-playing games, choices are one of the key features that make your adventure so personal. In Baldur's Gate 3, you can pretty much do whatever you want. You've got complete freedom to play the game as you see fit. If you don't like a certain character, it doesn't take that long to kill them off. You can stir up your allies to be, chip away at them, and they may end up killing each other.
Come daylight, we will find a place to end this.
Fine. You can accept you're wrong, or we'll be rid of you permanently.
Personally, I love video games that let you play the game in your own way, and if someone does you wrong, you can just get rid of them. Of course, you need that in games because it gives you a real personal touch. And also, I'd say it's very impressive actually when you do kill off main characters that the story doesn't fold in on itself. It still retains quality. Now, I haven't touched on combat yet, but it's a turn-based tactical style. Each character has a turn, obviously, and within that turn, you've got an amount of action points. These action points can be used to attack, buff, use items, throw, jump, move, and so many other options. It's just unbelievable. I would say that the battle screens can become overloaded in the larger fights, and they're quite muddled to observe on occasion. Now the combat, it's so in-depth, it will take you at least a week to get a true understanding of how it really works. And I'd say, at first I wasn't a big fan of it, but in time it really won me over, and despite it being quite overwhelming, it's that overwhelming detail that in the long run really delivers. Now, your group of adventurers all have leveling up possibilities, they all have character traits you can amend as you level up. but you also do have to manage their inventories and loadouts, and I would say this was a bit tedious. It did feel like a sort of part-time job, spending so much time in the menus, and I would say that the menus, they're not the most user-friendly for console players. Saying that, the controller support for Xbox in general, I would say, was fine. Obviously this is a mouse keyboard designed game, of course, but playing with an Xbox controller, I'd say 90% of the time is absolutely fine. There's just a few issues in some areas, but not enough to really worry about. One other thing to note is the game has a wicked sense of humour. You can do silly things like throw a ball to your dog, you can play music for a crowd and watch them throw rotten vegetables at you, or you can even play as a druid and transform into a badger. Why not? And then go and have a good sniff of your allies. Why not, I say? It's also worth noting that there are mods on Xbox, although I personally didn't actually use any on my playthrough. Now, if you have used mods on Xbox, why not pop a comment down below, let everybody know what these mods are like, and if there are any mods that you think are worth using, why don't you recommend some? Put that in the comments. Okay, visually, it's a beautiful game. It's got lush environments, it's got great looking characters, the weapons, the armour, the costumes are delightful. Performance wise, I would say it was fine for the most part, aside from the occasional issue where I loaded the game and it goes into some kind of debug mode. The game also features a pretty comprehensive photo mode. Now, if you want to watch a detailed breakdown of this, I will put a link in the description or in the comments to another video on that. Short version is there's lots of functionality, so much in the photo mode. It's not the most user friendly though, but there's loads of detail to it. The sound work is phenomenal. The voice actors, they really understood the task. Even the most basic NPCs were so well voice acted in such a rich and believable way. The music is beautiful, and I'd say effects wise, I cannot fault it. Okay, the verdict. Baldur's Gate 3 Deluxe Edition is a truly wonderful role-playing game with so much hidden depth, it is just mind-boggling. The game itself may not be the largest in terms of scale, but it's a true behemoth in terms of storytelling, narrative depth, combat variation, and character choices. The narrative is not only well written, in-depth and compelling to consume, but it also avoids preaching to the audience or trying to tell you what to think. Other games in recent times have made that mistake, but not Baldur's Gate 3. The combat, yes, it may be overwhelming at first, but in time I came to love it, and I also appreciated the little things like having a good photo mode, being able to play instruments, and just how NPCs react to what you're doing in a believable way. All these things added value to the experience, but also made the game world itself feel alive. And in a role-playing game, if the world feels alive, then you are off to a pretty good start, I say. Is it worth getting the physical edition though of this deluxe edition? Well, I'd say the contents, it's about 70-30. Some bits are really nice, like the soundtrack, the digital art book, glorious. The poster and the map may be a bit underwhelming, but I think on the whole, it's a very nice package and it's not too bad in terms of pricing. I think it's about, with delivery, it's about £90 UK pounds. You have to order it directly from Larian. And it also holds value. If you did want to trade it in, you can probably get about the same, because I know people are selling this for over £100. So God forbid you wanted to get rid of it, you could probably make a profit. Not that I would condone that, because it's a bloody lovely package. Anyway, overall, the game itself is amazing. It's a true role-playing game that's royalty in that category. I would strongly recommend it if you've got time to play it, because let me tell you, you do need time. If you haven't got time to play it, it's maybe going to go past you and you're not going to appreciate it. But if you've got the time, the patience, it's just a wonderful, wonderful piece of work. So my score for Baldur's Gate 3 Deluxe Edition, it's a 10 out of 10, of course it is. What else would it be? It's a bloody amazing role-playing game. Yes, it's in depth. Yes, it will take over your life. And yes, there's a couple of things that maybe aren't console friendly, but on the whole, what a bloody great game. And it makes so many other games that have come out in the recent years look really pathetic, frankly. But anyway, there you go. That's the review. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, comment. This is PG, signing off. Thank you.